What if the life you're living right now is not a reflection of your true potential, but only the result of the standards you've accepted? Think about it. The relationships you tolerate, the work you settle for, the goals you abandon halfway. None of them are accidents, they are choices. And the moment you raise your standards, everything changes. Your confidence, your income, your health, your happiness. This message is not just motivational, it's transformational. Stay with me until the end, because one decision you make today can redefine your entire future. Lesson 1. Your standards define your identity. The most profound realization a human being can have is that their external world is a mirror of their internal requirements. Most people spend their lives chasing wants. They want a better salary, they want a fitter body, and they want more meaningful relationships. However, a want is a weak psychological state. It is a preference without a mandate. You do not get what you want, you get what you must have. Your identity is not a collection of your dreams, but a collection of your musts. When you shift a goal from a should to a must, you are fundamentally rewriting the software of your identity. This is because the human brain is hardwired to stay consistent with its own self-image. If you see yourself as a person who never misses a workout, your brain will find the energy even on your most exhausted days. If you see yourself as a leader, you will naturally assume the posture, tone, and decisiveness of one. The concept of identity standards operates much like a thermostat in a room. If the temperature of your life, be it your finances or your health, drops below the setting you have accepted as your baseline, you will suddenly find an incredible burst of energy to fix it. However, the tragedy is that the same thermostat works in reverse. If you suddenly experience a windfall of success that exceeds your current identity standard, you will likely find a way to self-sabotage and bring the temperature back down to what you feel you deserve. Therefore, the only way to create permanent, lasting change is not to work harder, but to raise the base temperature of your identity. You must decide that certain behaviors are simply no longer an option for the person you have become. When you demand more from yourself, you are sending a neurological signal to your reticular activating system, RAS, to filter the world differently. You start noticing opportunities that were previously invisible because your higher standard demands them. You stop seeing your history as a ball and chain and start seeing it as a data set for future excellence. The world treats you exactly the way you treat yourself. If you treat your time as worthless, others will waste it. If you treat your word as unbreakable, others will respect it. Changing your standards is the ultimate act of self-creation. It is the process of deciding who you are going to be and then refusing to settle for anything less than that version of yourself. Lesson 2. Raise standards in what you accept. Tolstoy once wrote that everyone thinks of changing the world, but no one thinks of changing himself. This change begins with the radical act of refusal. To raise your standards, you must first define your flaw, the absolute lowest level of behavior, environment, or treatment you are willing to endure. Most people live in a state of quiet desperation because they have an incredibly high tolerance for mediocrity. They tolerate the dull ache of a job they hate, the slow decay of a sedentary body, and the draining energy of toxic social circles. The moment you decide, "I will no longer tolerate this," is the moment your rebirth begins. It is a moment of profound psychological friction where the pain of staying the same finally outweighs the pain of change. Raising your standards regarding what you accept from others is often the most difficult step because it requires the courage to be misunderstood. We often lower our standards to keep the peace or to avoid conflict, but a peace bought at the price of your own integrity is no peace at all. When you stop accepting excuses from others, you aren't being mean, you are being clear. You are setting a boundary that protects your energy and your vision. By refusing to settle for low-level dynamics, you actually invite the people around you to rise to a higher level. If they cannot or will not meet that standard, their departure from your life is not a loss, but a necessary pruning that allows for new growth. Similarly, you must stop accepting your own excuses. Procrastination is nothing more than a low standard masquerading as a timing issue. When you say you can't do something, you are usually lying. What you mean is that you have a standard that allows you to quit when things get uncomfortable. High standards demand a transition from "I'll try" to "I will." This shift removes the escape hatch of "maybe next time." When you stop accepting good enough as a valid result, your life is forced to level up. The universe doesn't respond to your needs, it responds to your demands. By raising the bar on what is acceptable, you force your circumstances to reorganize themselves to meet your new baseline of reality. Lesson 3. Raise standards in what you expect from yourself. Self-expectation is the silent engine of greatness. While the world may judge you based on your results, you must judge yourself based on your potential. Most people are their own easiest critics. They let themselves off the hook the moment things get difficult. However, the elite, those who truly move the needle in their fields, are their own harshest taskmasters. They don't need a boss to tell them to work harder because their internal standard is already higher than any external pressure could ever be. This is the essence of true autonomy, the ability to give yourself an order and then follow it. When you expect more from yourself, you stop looking for the easy way and start looking for the right way. This internal demand for excellence creates a psychological state known as creative tension. It is the gap between where you are and where your standards say you should be. While this tension can be uncomfortable, it is the primary source of human motivation. If you are satisfied with your current performance, you will stagnate. High standards require you to show up when you are tired, when you are uninspired, and when no one is watching. This is where character is forged. Keeping promises to yourself, the small, quiet ones like waking up on time or finishing a difficult task, builds a reservoir of self-trust. Without self-trust, confidence is a lie. With it, you become an unstoppable force. Discipline in this context is not a punishment, but a form of self-respect. It is the act of choosing what you want most over what you want now. When you raise your expectations, you are essentially telling yourself, "I am worth the effort required to become my best version." This internal shift changes your relationship with failure. If you expect greatness from yourself, failure is no longer an indictment of your worth, but a necessary data point in your evolution. You begin to understand that you are not competing against others. You are competing against the version of you that could have been. That higher expectation pulls you through the dip and ensures that you continue to grow long after others have settled into comfortable plateaus. Lesson 4. Raise standards in your daily habits. Excellence is not an isolated incident, it is a recurring pattern. As Will Durant famously summarized Aristotle, "We are what we repeatedly do." Therefore, your standards are most visible not in your grand speeches or occasional bursts of motivation, but in your boring, daily rituals. Your life is the sum of your habits. If you have a low standard for your morning routine, you start the day in a reactive state, allowing the world to dictate your mood. If you have a low standard for your nutrition, you are essentially poisoning the very engine required to fuel your dreams. By raising the standards of these small, seemingly insignificant choices, you create a compound effect that yields massive dividends over time. Consider the 1% rule of continuous improvement. If you raise your standards by just 1% every day, the mathematical result is not just linear growth, but exponential transformation. This applies to everything: the books you read, the conversations you engage in, and even the thoughts you allow to loop in your mind. If you tolerate negative self-talk, you are maintaining a standard that actively sabotages your success. High-standard habits act as a force multiplier. For example, a standard of daily exercise doesn't just improve your health, it improves your mental clarity, your confidence, and your resilience. It creates a keystone habit that naturally raises the standards of every other area of your life. To truly change your habits, you must change your environment to reflect your new standards. You cannot maintain high-level habits in a low-level environment. This means curating your digital feed, your pantry, and your social circle. If you surround yourself with people who have low standards, their behaviors will slowly become your normal. Conversely, when you enter a room of high performers, your standard is naturally pulled upward. You must be ruthless in auditing your daily inputs. Every piece of content you consume and every person you spend time with is either helping you maintain your new standards or pulling you back to your old ones. Excellence is a lifestyle, not a destination. Lesson 5. Raise standards and pain changes. Meaning. One of the most profound shifts that occurs when you raise your standards is a total recontextualization of suffering. To the person with low standards, pain is a signal to stop. It is perceived as an unfair punishment or a reason to retreat into comfort. However, to the person with high standards, pain is perceived as resistance, and resistance is the only way to build muscle, both physically and psychologically. When your standards are high, you stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and you start asking, "What is this preparing me for?" This shift from a victim mindset to a warrior mindset is entirely dependent on the standards you hold for your own resilience. In biology, there is a concept called hormesis, the idea that a small amount of stress or toxin can actually make an organism stronger. High standards embrace this principle. When you set a high bar for yourself, you voluntarily invite stress into your life in the form of challenges, learning curves, and hard work. Because you have a high standard for your future self, you see this temporary pain as an investment. You begin to crave the burn of growth because you know that a life without challenge is a life of stagnation. You no longer fear the dark nights of the soul or the difficult seasons of life because your standards dictate that you are a person who overcomes, not a person who hides. Ultimately, high standards turn your struggles into your greatest strengths. The very things that once broke you become the foundation of your new identity. You realize that the pain of discipline is far lighter than the pain of regret. Regret is the result of looking back and realizing you lived below your potential because you were afraid of discomfort. By raising your standards now, you are essentially prepaying for your future peace of mind. You develop a psychological callus that allows you to handle pressures that would crush a person with lower requirements for themselves. In the end, your standards are the architecture of your soul. They determine not just what you achieve, but who you become in the process of achieving it. If you want to change your life forever, don't wait for motivation. Decide, right now, to raise your standards. Decide what you will no longer tolerate, what you will commit to, and who you are becoming. Because the moment you raise your standards, your life will rise to meet them. The question is simple: will you stay where you are, or will you demand more?